Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to this week's tarot reading. Now before I get into it, I do want to mention that all of these weekly readings are timeless. I'm putting them up on a weekly basis, but there is no set date. If you notice, I have never actually put a date in the title nor in the description besides what YouTube puts on it, and I also don't specifically talk about a certain day. These readings are timeless, and whenever you stumble upon it, it is meant for you at that time. So whenever you're stumbling upon this reading, hello and welcome. I am Amethyst, and today I will be reading some tarot and oracle cards for you. So let's see, what is the general energy? Right now we are coming up on Valentine's Day. The Super Bowl just passed. If you're a sports fan, I hope your team won. I honestly have no clue even who's playing or who played. I don't know. So this week I wanted to talk about guidance. I wanted to talk about love since we are coming up on Valentine's Day. Again, not time specific though, but that is just when I'm filming. So let's see. Just general messages about guidance and love and how can we move forward. That's kind of the whole general theme of all of these weekly readings, is how can we move forward? How can we take steps every day to be, how can we take steps every day to be the best version of ourselves? So we have the Hierophant and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so with these two cards in combination, I'm really getting a vibe that it's about not putting what you want up on a pedestal. The Hierophant can often be seen as a figure that is intimidating, a figure that is kind of above you. It's also a card that's known as the Pope, the head of the Catholic Church. And for many, the Pope or the Hierophant is kind of idealized in something that you look up to, you look to for inspiration, but it's always something above you. You're always below looking up at this figure. And so with these two cards, it's almost like you need to level the playing field, especially here on the Hierophant. We have these two keys, okay? So the Hierophant could hold the keys, but you could also hold the keys to your own destiny. There's two keys. They could hold the key, you could hold the key. And with the Knight, we can see that this blue-footed booby has collected all sorts of goodies. They have a cup, they have a shield, and they are kind of dancing in front of what they have collected here. And it's about seeing what you have collected, whether it be material goods, whether it be knowledge, whether it be spiritual guidance, whatever it is, seeing your worth in what you have collected as a person, as an experience. What has your journey so far in life collected? Not just like a physical thing, but what are the skills you've collected, acquired? What is the knowledge? What is the emotional strength? What are there's so much that you have brought into your experience since you were a little babe who just, relied on everyone to do things for you. So what have you learned? What have you learned? How have you grown? And how can you take those keys from those that you once looked up to and take those keys and take charge, take action, take control of your story? How can you take control of your story and go on to write the next chapter in the way that you really want to, in the way that you desire? Okay? Bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card. Okay, this is about honoring your strength, trusting your strength, trusting what you are capable of. It's also interesting that we had the Hierophant here being represented by this polar bear, a very strong, massive, intimidating kind of animal. And yet here we have an ox pulling a wagon full of all those things you've collected, all the positive and negative, the negative baggage, the trauma that you're carrying along with you, but also the knowledge, the courage, the strength. All of that is coming with you. How can you see yourself as a strong figure who is capable of taking charge and knowing which door these keys go to? How can you begin to trust yourself in whatever the next journey is? So now again, I also said I wanted to talk a little bit about love in this reading. So how does this relate to love? Well, if you're talking about relationships, it is not putting that person that you desire up on a pedestal as someone who is above you, better than you, more handsome, more beautiful, more attractive in whatever sense. Not putting them above you. It's about seeing yourselves as equal, seeing yourselves as level on the playing field, and that you are deserving of each other. So often we put our potential romantic partners up on a pedestal, and we think that, oh, you know, they're too hot for us, you know. But then you see the story of the, you know, the unattractive person who gets the super hot person. It's like, how did that even work? It's because the unattractive person didn't put themselves below that attractive person, right? Even if you have your own physical flaws, which we all do, okay? Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie about others. Everyone has flaws. But just because everyone has flaws doesn't mean that you are flawed, right? We all have little flaws, little characteristics, little traits that make us unique and make us who we are. If we were all perfect, we would all be very boring. We would all be very similar, and what's the point of being so perfect that there's nowhere to go, right? There is a quote that says something along the lines of, if you are not growing, you are dying. So if you're perfect and you're at the top of your game and there's nowhere else to go, well, you're just going down. You're dying. You're letting go. So there should always be more to strive for, but the person that you are wanting to be with in a romantic partnership, perhaps in a career partnership, perhaps in whatever kind of partnership, we don't need to see people as better than us. No one is better than you. They are just different than you. And when you can put yourself on the same level and not raise them up, then you will be able to rewrite your story to be included with that person. When you always feel like that person's above you and you can never reach that, then you're never going to. Okay, let's pull a numerology card. That is so interesting. So we have the surrender card, and this card is actually at the bottom of the deck. When I picked it up, I looked at it and I was like, surrender. Interesting. We need to surrender to, you know, the powers that be. We need to surrender to the ideal that this person is better. Surrender to the concept that there are people who are better than us in this world because of whatever reason. And then I shuffled and there it came out again. So, you know, you have to surrender to surrender the stories and concepts that have been holding you back. Let go of the things that have limited you, limited your mindset, limited your beliefs, okay? We have the card of healing. We have the card of relationship change, okay? As you are able to surrender, as you are able to surrender to the idea that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you are everything you need to be in this moment, when you can surrender to that, when you can let go of the limiting beliefs that are telling you you're not enough, when you can let go of the idea that you need to change to be able to reach your dreams, when you can let go, when you can surrender that and just say bye-bye, that is when the healing will happen, and that is when this relationship change will happen. You know how I was saying earlier about the polar bear and the ox both being very strong, amazing creatures. They're different, but they're both very strong. They're both large, they're grand, they're impressive creatures, right? And it's the idea that together they could, not even together that they could, but the idea of like of that person, that idea, if you could ever get to that level, right, then that is when things will happen. But your relationship dynamic between this person that you're putting on a pedestal and you need to change. Because again, just because someone is up on a pedestal does not mean they are better than you. You need to raise yourself up. You need to raise your vibration so that you are on this level. It's not even about knocking them down. It's about understanding your worth and raising your pedestal to be level with them. The relationship change is more about the relationship in here, the relationship with yourself. But again, it's going to come with healing. It's going to come with taking the time for you. I feel like this is a message that I often promote, but honestly, the best way to get what you want is to learn to love yourself and understand that you as you are worthy of whatever it is you want, whether it's relationship, whether it's career, finances, whatever. When you can change your story, change your relationship with yourself and see yourself as worthy, then that is what you shall be. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this weekly reading. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.